Whoa. Color.
Hey, there's an easier way to get color. Get a Game Gear, the full color portable with over 150 games, like the new Echo, Mortal 2, and Sonic Triple Trouble. SEGA!
Hello and welcome to another Retro Crazy. We are back with a Game Gear. My success rate with these at the moment is about 50-50, which is okay, I guess. But let's see if we can prove those odds. This is a Game Gear I got a while back. What was it? August, September last year. I did a video on the unboxing from Sendico, and this was one of the items that came through. Now, it does have batteries in, however, we've got nothing on screen. It powers itself down. It's not doing very well. It's going to need a bit of a recap, and hopefully we can get this up and running. The other thing I want to do, that's not on the screen, that's something that turned into a cocoon or something in there, so I want to make sure that's dead. There's a couple of bits under the screen, hopefully we can get those cleaned out, but yeah, I'm not looking forward to what we might find in here. So let's pop it open and I'll get everything apart. And there we have it, down to its three boards. We've got the main board here, we've got the power board and the audio board. Now, when I removed this screw from the power board, it was rusty. So something here could well have been leaking. I don't see anything on the contact, so I don't think it's battery acid. So that does leave the main possibility being a leaking capacitor, but I'm going to be replacing all of the capacitors anyway. Now, just as a reminder, on the Game Gears, they use these encapsulated capacitors. They're actually normal electrolytics, they're just put in plastic cases and put on their side. And I hadn't seen them in the white cases before. Plenty of times in the black, but not on these more sort of fawny white cases. So all of these need to come off to be removed. We're going to replace the standard electrolytics here and the surface mounts that are tucked here. I'm going to do it in a slightly different way to what I have done in the past. Normally I heat, lift, take them off. I'm actually going to try using, actually some of these are so loose, it doesn't appear that they've actually been glued down, which is quite surprising. Handy, yeah, but some of these have not been glued down. That one has, that one has, that one hasn't. One hasn't, or if they've been glued down, the glue's just failed. So the ones that are tight, I'm going to try using some flush cutters just to break it and lift it to start with. We'll heat, we'll remove, and then we'll replace. Now, you've seen me do this in the past using various electrolytics. Not these, obviously, these are way too big. These are just ones I happen to have to hand, but much smaller ones where I've folded the legs under, placed them on so that everything fits. Well, I'm going to try something different. I got this from Retro6 on eBay. Cost me a whole $8.99 delivered. And what this is a Game Gear Capacitor Kit, but using SMD. Now I do have caps for here, but everything else is SMD. So I'm wondering, will this make much difference? It certainly should make redoing them a little bit easier, because I don't have to fiddle about with bending legs and getting things to fit where they're supposed to. These literally just go across the contact points and get soldered on. So they should be a little bit easier to do. Power board takes just normals, so that's easy enough. So I'm going to get this done first, clean these off, clean off what little residue I can see there. This will be the first board I do. It's nice and simple and straightforward, and then we'll work our way through the soundboard and then the main board. So let's crack on with this first. And now with the capacitors off, you can see just how bad it actually was. This one is absolutely soaking, it's wet. I don't know if the camera is picking that up. Yep, there it is. This one has been leaking, as has that, and we have a hair from the person that manufactured it. Lovely. So I need to get this all cleaned off, because this is not going to be good for it. So you'll see that there's a couple of extra components off, and that's because once I'd cleaned this area and looked down, I could see it was wet, but it didn't appear to be drying, and that could have been contamination from this, which has been leaking. So yeah, I thought I would do the sensible thing, a little bit of preventative maintenance and make sure everything there was fine, because I don't want it corroding underneath. So now that that's done, I can put everything back together. And that's the power board done. Now the really nice thing with the Retro6 kit is these are all Rubicon capacitors. They're good quality, and hopefully there'll be a lot of life out of those. However, let's ditch these obviously dead capacitors, which is a shame because, believe it or not, 1, 2, 3 Rubicon. So the power board can go to the side, because next, that lovely soundboard. So as I said, I'm going to try something different with these. This is not normally the way I do things, but I'm going to use side cutters. This could be interesting. So I believe you grab it from the base of the can and then just cut. And what you should be left with, once you peel the plastic out of the way, and a couple of contacts, which we can now theoretically simply desolder. Certainly a little bit easier. Doesn't appear to have damaged the trace on either side, so let's try with a larger can. Now remember, I'm doing this so you don't have to. I really don't like this. And whether I like it or not, that works. And so with those all removed, hopefully I can just heat these and drag the remaining legs off. So with the audio board now stripped, cleaned and ready to be done, I can tell you that that method of removal, while it's quick, you are guaranteed the smell of fish, because obviously you're cutting into the can and you're releasing some of the electrolyte. So yeah, doesn't smell the greatest. Now Retro 6 do provide a link on their auction which takes you to the listing of where everything goes, because they only supply 3 types of cap, 3 values. So everything on this apparently gets replaced with hundreds. And my preferred method, do one side, drop it on, hold it in place, heat, and then get it flush, and then we can do the other side. And there we are, that's the audio board done, he said hopefully, never having used these before. Right, done, let's pop this to the side and let's look at the main board now. So here we are with the main board. I'm going to start on this side and then work my way around. According to Retro 6, these are the 10 NF caps, as is that one and that one. These are 1 UF and the rest have to be replaced with hundreds. Well, supposedly they'll know best, so let's see what happens. And there we have it, back together, clean. Much prefer it without the bugs cocoon in there. Question is, does it work? Well, first thing I want to do before I put a cartridge in, do I get a power light? Oh, very definitely. And I get the backlight powering up. Well, that's a good sign. So let's go with the cartridge that came with it. Oh yes. Okay, you're not saying that. Let me turn the volume down. Okay, let me switch off the main light here and let's see if you can see this. I have no idea, this is in Japanese. Yay! Okay, let's take our tank game out and let's drop in Sonic. So there we are, it's done, it's working, it's got one of the nicer screens that I've seen on a Game Gear of this age. Would I use this cap kit again, this SMD cap kit? And what did I think of using the side cutter method to remove the caps? Actually, the side cutter method works really well. It's simple, it's easy, as long as you're gentle and careful. The key thing it's doing is actually lifting the cap off of the board so you can then desolder in whichever way you want. The SMD cap kit was actually really easy to fit, and you don't have to worry about making sure everything's snug and there's no legs catching and shorting and things like that. I do find it odd that there's only 3 values of cap. However, it works, it doesn't seem to affect the system at all. So would I use it again? Yes, definitely. Especially seeing as it's only $8.99 and you do end up with quite a few spares. So I hope you found this interesting. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon. It really does wonders for promotion of the channel. And I'll see you on the next Retro Crazy.